Hello, everyone. Welcome to the morning edition on VOICEcorps. My name is Amy Billerman, the Director of Volunteers at VOICEcorps, and my guest in the studio today is Chris Cooley. How are you today, Chris?
I'm wonderful.
A little closer to the mic.
I'm great.
There you go. Chris is started a kind of a social support group a year ago for people who make use of service dogs, guide dogs, and his service companion Conrad is here with us. In case our listeners hear any funny noises in the background, he's kind of discovering the studio here. So Chris is going to tell us more about this support group and how folks who are interested, if they need it because they use a service dog, or if they're just interested in supporting that kind of activity. You have an event coming up Saturday, December 14th, 7 p.m. at the Outback Steakhouse on Bethel Road in Columbus. And it's a Christmas gathering. People who use service dogs are welcome to attend. People who don't but want to support the group are welcome to attend.
Correct.
And bring a $5 gift for the dogs to exchange. So tell us more about the thinking behind that. What do you want? Why do you want folks to come to that?
I really want folks to come to it just to for a social gathering and also support people with disabilities. If you're disabled or if you're not disabled, you're welcome to come. Bringing the community together instead of having a split community where we have disability community here, we have the regular community here. My goal behind this group is to bring the community together and make it one community where we all become friends. We all understand the rules of guide dogs, service dogs, and it's also educating our people in the community about the rules of service dogs and stop the no, there's no dogs allowed kind of thing.
Just going to ask you, so when you contacted this restaurant, the Outback, what were their concerns about having dogs in the restaurant?
They were really open to it, but I've ran into a few places that, oh, what about the health department? What about the dog? We can't have dogs here. So I've had to go and educate them. And
so what does the health department say about that?
The health department said we're allowed in anywhere that they serve the public. Okay. Anywhere that they serve the public, we're allowed in. We're just not allowed back in the kitchen.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Where they're preparing the food.
Sure. Well, that makes sense. So, again, just before we move off of that, so the event is Saturday, December 14th, 7 p.m. at the Outback Steakhouse on Bethel Road. Again, you don't have to have a service dog in your life in order to participate. If you just want to support the group, you can. You can come, and they need to contact you to RSVP so you can let the restaurant know, right?
The first week of December, that Friday, at that Friday will be the last day to our VSP to let me know that you're coming. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a bunch of gift cards. Everybody will get a pizza gift card that's worth $25. Nice. Everybody will have a chance to win a chocolate cafe gift card, all kinds of different little items that people are really supportive with this program and happy to see this program started. And I ask around and I'm like, why are you happy about seeing this program started? They're like, well, it's an open group. So anybody with disabilities, anybody without disabilities can come and learn and make friends and be part of the whole community. And the thing is about this group is you don't need to pay a membership. You don't need to sign up for anything. Just come. It's open.
So Friday, December 6th, then, it sounds like. That's that first week in December. You want to hear from folks if they're going to come.
I would like to.
Okay, what's the best way to contact you?
They could call me at 614-432-6632. They can email me. If you call me, I could give you my email because it's long.
Okay. You'd rather do, okay. The phone, 432-6632.
Correct.
And we'll give that again later on in the show. And of course, as always, our listeners know they can call us here at VOICEcorps, and we could pass that on to you then.
Correct.
Too. All right. Well, let's hear this group then. You were telling me before we went on the air, it's about a year old now. When you first started gathering, you meet once a month. Can you tell us when and where and how folks can get involved?
Well, I started a group page on Facebook, which is called Guide Dog / Service Dog Night Out. People may look at it and say, Guide Dog, Service Dog. I don't have one. So don't worry about that name. You don't need a dog to come and join it. Feel free to come. The reason I did that was to encourage people with their service dog to join us and be able to come out and overcome any fears that they might have getting out into the community. And also, the idea about the group is to educate the community as we get out and enjoy our lives. Mm-hmm. And then I started it on Facebook. I've had people tell me, "Oh, it's not going to happen. You know, it's not going to work." I had advertised it to a couple places, Union Cafe in the Short North, 1420 Bar and Grill in Grandview. They said, "Yeah, Chris, if you do it, we'll support you." So we had our first 2 meetings at those 2 places starting up.
I see. So do you have a regular monthly date when you have these gatherings, or do you wait and announce them?
I usually try to, each gathering, I try to get everybody's idea. What kind of fun things do you like to do? Where would you like to go? You know, if there's a place that you would like to go to and you have a fear of going, let me know so we can work on setting something up and helping you overcome that fear, whatever it might be. So what happens is, right after our outing, I try to start looking for places to go. It's different places all around Columbus.
And it might be a different night of the month then, too.
It's always the first Saturday of the month, but there are times that people will say, "Can we make it the second Saturday of the month?"
Okay.
So if you call me, or if you get on Facebook and look up, Guide Dog / Service Dog Night Out, I always post pictures, always have different contests going on, trying to encourage people to join our contest and things like that. And then I always post on our Facebook page that what day and what time and where we're going to be meeting.
I see. Okay. Talking with Chris Cooley, and he is the organizer of a social support group for folks who use service dogs. Is there a correct term? Is it guide dog or is it service dog? What's the correct term to use?
Well, some people have all sorts of ideas. Really, service dog is the term that a lot of people understand. Mm-hmm. You get people that are not from the country. They understand working dogs more than they do service dogs. So it depends on where you're going and who you're talking to. Because I had someone in Cincinnati one time saying medical dog. And I'm like, wait a minute. I've never heard that before. But I knew what he meant. And so I'm kind of, everybody has their own ideas of it, what kind of dog it could be. But really the big term is, it's a service dog. I mean, that's what the ADA says. Mm-hmm. It's a service working dog.
You talked at the beginning about when you bring your service dog Conrad with you to places, restaurants. Some of them don't hesitate about letting you in because of the dog, but you explain to them that he's a genuine working service dog for you, and then there's no problem. Is there some of that goes on where folks can will have I can't think why they would want to, but if they were to fake it in a sense, do you ever encounter that? Have you heard of that?
I see that online a lot. That a
Do
lot
you?
of people
They get like a fake badge or something, put it on their dog, and then they what?
You could buy a badge online. You could buy a vest online, which is
awful. Yeah.
Which is awful.
But what's the benefit? I mean, you know what? They just don't want to leave their dog at home, or
that's what I read, and that's what I get from people. And saying, you know, well, if you could do it, I can do it. And it's like, okay, all right, I have a reason to have my dog. Yeah. You know, because there may be times that I don't see things very well, so then I end up leaning on the dog, even though if it's bright and shining, maybe I can see it, you know, better than, you know, I don't rely on the dog as much, but I try to rely on the dog all the time. But yeah, I've heard about people coming in with fake, you know, trying to come in with fake dogs.
How do you assure then, you know, again, at a restaurant or whatever, any kind of a store or something that has those concerns? What kind of proof do you offer that, yes, you know, this is because you have some vision, so you know, just tell me, you know, what does Conrad have a badge or
when I encounter somebody question me about it, it's because I can see them, maybe not very well, but they can see that I see them, so they're wondering why I need the dog. So when I say service dog, it should be the end of it. It should have no more questions. But if not, my dog will have a vest. Of course, my dog has a harness because it's a guide dog. It's a harness. I do carry an ID with me that says this dog has been certified as a service dog, and it went through training. And it has the name of the school, so if they have a problem, they could call. Really don't have, you know, by the ADA, I don't have to show it, but if they kind of are in a doubt, I offer it to show them.
I see. So right now, though, there is nothing really that's official, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Something from the
not under the ADA law.
You're doing everything you're supposed to, and you want to assure people that.
I think I read an article last night on Facebook that was talking about how the ADA wants to make it stronger and better, where that fake dogs don't happen, which means the ADA is kind of looking at it, not yet happening, but they were looking at it a way that, okay, if you have a service dog, then you really need to show your ID, you know, proof of that service dog. You know, people can ask.
I see. Chris Cooley is here, and we're talking about the use of a service dog, guide dog. Now, you were telling me again before we went on the air that your visual impairment is the optic nerve. It's
genetic,
deterioration of that. Something you've been dealing with since you were a teenager?
Right.
So you've had a service dog since you were 19.
Yeah.
Long time now. So born and raised in Portsmouth, Ohio. How your first service in it? Well, where do you get a service dog? Tell us that.
Well, for me, I chose Pilot Dog. The reason I chose Pilot Dog and I stayed with Pilot Dog is when I was a kid, I had a fear of dogs. I didn't like dogs. I would run every time I'd hear a dog bark. And so when I first called Pilot Dog, I was scared, really scared. So my mom takes me up and drops me off.
Pilot Dogs is here in Columbus.
Pilot Dog's here in Columbus. Okay. She brings me here in Columbus, drops me off, and says, I'll come back and get you when you're done. So I was in fear, I was crying, and everything.
Kind of sink or swim thing, huh?
Yeah. And so I told the trainer I was scared. And the trainer said it'll be okay. The first day they bring the dog in, I hear it clicking on the floor, you know, so excited, here I am, and I'm like, hold on. I ran to the bathroom and locked myself in.
Oh, God.
But here's the great part about this, is the trainer came in, he realized that I got really scared, locked myself in, took the dog back out, had another trainer hold the dog, and then he talked to me and got me to sit back down in the room, brought the dog back in. The dog laid his head on my lap, looked at me and like, I'm ready, I'm here. When you're ready, let me know. I mean, he didn't try to jump on me. He didn't do all that crazy stuff I thought he was going to do. It was so sweet that he just laid his head on my lap.
Okay.
I'm here.
So a well-trained dog then.
Yes.
That was your first experience with.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's why I always chose pilot dogs, because I've had that really great experience.
So talk about when you first, acquire. How is that match made?
The match is made by they come in and they take you out for a walk.
Who, the people at Pilot
the trainers,
Dogs?
The trainers at Pilot Dogs here in Columbus. They take you for a walk, and they go by the pace. How fast you walk, how high, how tall you are, or how short you are, and then they pick out the dog that would probably be the best match for you.
I see. Okay. So, joining us on the phone now is a woman named Karen, who is a puppy raiser. So she can add to the conversation we're having about how one begins with a service dog. Hello, Karen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Thank you for joining us. Chris is here with me in the studio.
Hello.
Hi, Chris.
So tell us, Karen, a puppy raiser, is that right?
Puppy raiser. I'm currently raising my 9th puppy for Pilot Dogs. We started back in 91, took a little break for a while, and then have since 2005 just, gone from one dog. And then when they return back to Pilot Dogs when they're a year old, then we just gotten another puppy. So we're on our 9th one right now.
I see. Well, talk about the beginning of the process. Where does the puppy come from?
The puppy comes from Pilot Dogs. I know they're either they have breeders, and sometimes they have donations, because I know I have had both, where puppy's been donated or they've come from one of their breeders. Usually about 6 to 8 weeks, we receive the puppy to take home, and then you just basically treat them as your own pet. So the housebreaking, trying to socialize them, take them to obedience. The one I have right now, Whitney, she's 7 months old, so she's in her 2nd obedience class, and I just took her to the airport over the weekend, and she kind of got a little scared. She's a golden retriever. Usually I have Labrador retrievers, and I'm not used to the golden, and they're a little bit more shy. And so we took her to the airport, and she was kind of scared and shaken. So I called them, and they said, okay, we need to get her out and really get her around. A lot of people try to take her to the mall and stuff. So we're going to try to get her socialized a little bit more.
I see.
But we also, as part of our socialization, we meet with Chris's group on our guide dog night out once a month. So, and she does fine there. I don't know if it's because she's around all the other dogs that she's more relaxed. But, I love Chris's group, because I've never really, until this time, gotten the opportunity to socialize my dog in a restaurant with a group of other service dogs. And it gives me opportunity as a raiser to see what I have done for a visually impaired person, that how much independence this has given them now because they have the dog and they can go out.
So Karen, you were the first person that showed up at the first outing, correct?
Yeah, it was the first night in Conrad.
And it was a blizzard. It was a blizzard that night.
And you still had your meeting, huh?
You had a meeting.
Yeah.
She worked her way out there, and I was so happy.
Yeah. Well, and it's been great for me too, because I have met, that whole group, and I've been able to talk to people one-on-one, to hear their story, and to hear what they're able to do now because they have this dog, that they can go to Ohio State and get on the bus and take their classes and stuff and have a job. So
rewarding, in that respect.
And you got to meet other puppy raisers also with this group.
Right.
Yes, do you share some tips on things that work for you and things that didn't work for you with the other puppy raisers?
Well, I think it's more of like, where have you taken your dog to socialize? Like I know one lady is a school teacher, and her school allowed her to bring the puppy to class to be with her students during the day. And I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be wonderful, to be able to be around, the kids and to get out every day. So I think it's more, socialization tips and stuff because, like I said, plus I've had how many dogs of my own. So basically I know, what to do with the puppy and stuff as far as the housebreaking and when they're chewing on stuff. So
how does someone get to be a puppy raiser? What do they have to do?
I think you have to contact Pilot Dogs, and I know there's an application process, and God, it's been so long since, I've just applied back in, like I said, back in 91, so I've put applications. I think they check, I think we have to have references, and I do know they will check your veterinarian reference, as a reference to make sure that your own pets are taken care of and stuff. So,
Sure.
And then also as a puppy raiser, you're responsible, to take them for all their veterinary care, for their shots and stuff. So now Pilot Dogs does pay the expense, but I'm the one that, takes puppies, and they're pretty much like let you go to whatever vet. My vet is one of their participating veterinarians. So
Pilot Dogs, they do reimburse you or pay for the medical, the veterinary care.
Right.
I see.
Well, luckily my vet does a direct bill to Pilot Dogs, so I don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm responsible for is the food.
I see.
So,
and Karen, could I ask you, what kind of things do you experience at the group that you really so surprised? I hear you and Emily talk about like, I don't know where you get this or get that, and what kind of activities do we do? Can you explain some of that about the group, inside the group, what we do?
What do you mean, as far as like going out to dinner?
Going out to dinner, the prizes that we win, and
we have prizes, and we also went as a group to the Ohio State Fair. Now I did not bring my puppy, but we went with the handlers. So Chris was there with his dog, and I think how many other dogs were there?
There were like three others.
3 other dogs. So as a group, we went to the fair, and it was kind of neat to see how well your dog Chris was afraid of. No, it was another dog that was afraid of the sheep.
It was afraid of
how to get him used to being around other animals and the crowds of people and stuff. So then we usually once a month go out to a restaurant, and it's really funny because I was so worried the first time I went and brought the dog that he wouldn't lay down. And I kept thinking, oh, what am I going to do? He keeps trying to, get up and walk around this restaurant and he won't settle down. But it's like he knew that when he was around the other service dogs that he needed to settle down. He just sat right down and lay down and went to sleep. So,
is there a particular breed that makes for a better service dog?
Well, Chris, you want to answer that one?
Well, a lot of people are more welcoming if you have a golden or if you have a Labrador retriever. But when they see a boxer or a Doberman or a German Shepherd, they kind of like, okay, what kind of mood is this dog in? Because you hear a lot of bad things in the world about these dogs, but not a lot about the good things. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people think it's bad things and don't really understand, these dogs are good because they're helping somebody get along. A while back, they had, a guy had, a guy had his boxer from Pilot Dog here in Columbus, and he was walking his little boy to school. So him and his boxer was taking the little boy to school, and as they were crossing the street, the boxer realized that there was a car going to be running the stop sign. Kind of pushed him out of the way a little bit, and then ran around and saved the little boy's life. And so the little boy got his life saved. The owner, that needed his dog was saved. But what happened was the car hit the boxer, and the boxer died.
Jeez.
But that's a good thing. Those are good things that people don't
hear. The boxer
hear.
was doing what it was trained to do.
Yeah, people don't hear that kind of stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when they see those dogs, they're kind of fearful, but more open to your question, it's the Golden and Labrador.
That's been your experience, right?
That's been my experience.
Karen, do you have or do you just raise whatever Pilot Dogs gives you?
Well, no, I'm more of a lab person, so I usually stick with the Labrador Retrievers because I kind of know their like what they expect as far as like the chewing and their personalities. Just like I said, like when I took my Labrador Retriever to the airport, no problem. You know, they're so laid back, and you know they don't care if when the belt comes on for the luggage, because I thought, well, that's going to really, bother him. He didn't care. He laid right there and went right through it. Whereas the Golden Retriever is more a little skittish. And she was like, oh, what's that? So I was like, I have to socialize her a little bit more than the labs because they're not, I don't think they're as laid back. Okay. A little bit more nervous. So you find an actress with Conrad? I mean,
I do. I agree with you.
We have less than 2 minutes to go on our show. So go ahead, Chris. Talk about what else do you want folks to know before?
Well, I would like for them, to, come and give us a try. I always have surprises to give away. A lot of people have been really supportive, even though it's not something that they, it's not taxable or it's not non-taxable stuff. I'm not having this group, they can't put it on their taxes because I don't have that tax number and stuff. So, but they've still been willing to give. So my goal is come out, give us a try, have a great time, enjoy a great outing with everyone, and meet new friends.
And it sounds like a great way to just share some ideas too about.
And it also gets the owners and managers involved too when we're in the community. So
or you're thinking about raising a puppy. It's a good time, a good place to start.
Right. But the owners and managers are going to say, hey, I would like to know about the disability. How can we make this better for you? It gives them a chance to jump in there and ask us questions because we're an open group. They can do that, and have a better establishment for us to come back there again.
Sure. Just make it easier the next time to come back.
For anyone.
Yeah. You mentioned some of the restaurants you've been to who've been very welcoming. Are there a couple more that you haven't mentioned yet that you want listeners to know about?
There is, I don't know the name, but up in Grandview, that's a Mexican restaurant. It's up by the new Giant Eagle in
the Kingsdale.
Kingsdale. There's a Mexican restaurant there. Okay. It's the only one. They called me begging me to come because they really wanted to see what our group was about.
Terrific. My thanks to Chris Cooley. Thank you, Karen, for calling in. It was very good to hear from you. And Chris Cooley, Chris again, it's 432-6632 if you want to attend that event on December 14th. Thank you all for listening.